It happened last October, on one of those gray, rainy Sundays when the whole world feels sleepy. My mom was baking something in the kitchen, and my dad was in the living room, half watching football, half dozing off. I was bored out of my mind. Around noon, my mom asked me to help her. Could you go up to the attic and bring down those extra blankets? Your grandmother might stay the night. I groaned but agreed. Our attic is small, with a slanted roof and dusty wooden beams. You have to climb a narrow staircase that creaks under every step. The air always smells faintly of mothballs and old paper. I started looking through piles of boxes, shifting aside Christmas decorations and old photo albums. That's when I saw it, a small wooden box tucked behind a stack of cardboard. It was covered in a thin layer of dust, but it looked different, like it didn't belong there. The wood was dark, and there was a tiny brass latch on the front. My curiosity took over. The latch wasn't locked, just a little stiff. I flipped it open, and the lid creaked as it lifted. Inside were photographs, dozens of them, neatly stacked, tied together with a faded ribbon. But they weren't pictures of my family. At least, not my family as I knew it. I picked up the first photo. It was a group of strangers, a smiling couple with 2 kids. Behind them, barely in the frame, was a man standing under a tree. His face was slightly turned away, but I froze when I saw the jacket he was wearing. It was the jacket, the one my dad has owned for as long as I can remember. Dark green, with a frayed cuff on the left sleeve. I've even worn it a few times myself. My heart started pounding. I looked through more photos. Different settings, different people, but in almost every single picture, there was that man in the background, always wearing the same jacket. The weirdest part, the photos looked old. Some were clearly taken decades ago. I felt a lump in my throat. My hands were shaking as I took one photo downstairs. "Mom," I called out, holding it up. "Who are these people?" She looked up from the dough she was kneading. For a second, her face froze, and all the color drained from it. She took the photo from my hand, stared at it, then quickly shoved it into her apron pocket. "Where did you get this?" she asked, her voice suddenly sharper. "In the attic, in a wooden box. Who are they? And is that Dad?" "Go put the box back. Right now," she said firmly. "And don't go through other people's things." "But now," the tone in her voice was enough to make me do it. I went back upstairs, but the whole time my brain was racing. Who were those strangers? And why was my dad in their pictures? That night, I couldn't sleep. Around midnight, I went to the kitchen for water and stopped when I heard voices. My parents were talking in low tones. My mom's voice, "They'll find out eventually." My dad's reply, "Not if we keep quiet. We've kept it this long." I stood there in the dark, my heart pounding so hard I thought they'd hear it. The next morning, I went back to the attic to look at the box again. But it was gone. Not just moved, gone. The spot where it had been was empty, with only a faint rectangle of dust showing it had ever been there. I didn't say anything. For days, I tried to act normal, but I noticed my parents watching me a little more closely. My dad, especially. Sometimes I'd catch him staring at me like he wanted to say something, but didn't. Then about a week later, I came home from school and found an envelope on my bed. No name, no return address. Inside was a single photograph. It was a picture of me, standing in our backyard. The thing is, I didn't remember it being taken. And in the far corner of the image, almost hidden in the shadows of the trees, there was that same man in the same green jacket. And this time, he was smiling.